So till now we have seen a normal ALV report, how to display data in ALV report. Okay. So select data from multiple tables and using reuse ALV list display or grid display, we are displaying the output, right?
Yes.
Now we'll see what is interactive ALV. Okay. What is interactive ALV? For example, we have a header level data report. You have header level report and let's say I have sales order number here. When I click on the sales order number, for example, sales order number 100 is there. When I click on the sales order number 100, I should navigate to another report, another ALV report. That is item level ALV report. Here I should be able to see all item level data. Okay. And then for example, in item level, I have material. Some material number MAT 100. So when user clicked on the site material number, it should generate one more ALV report, separate ALV report for material details. Clear?
Yes.
So it should display a report with material details. For example, unit of measurement and some other property, type, material type. Okay. So from this to this, from this to this, and again, when you click on back, it should navigate to material level to header item level, and item level to header level. When you click on back button, okay. Again, when you click on other sales order number, it should display item level data, and when you click on material number, it should display material level data in a separate ALV. What do you call this?
Interactive ALV.
Yes. This is one type of requirement. Okay, there is different requirement. That is, I have a report. Uh, what is the transaction code for sales order display? What is the transaction code for sales order display?
ME21N.
Sales order display ME21. If 21N for sales order display, what is T code for purchase order create?
Purchase order ME21.
What is sales order display transaction code? What is sales order creation transaction code? VA01 is to create, VA02 is to change the sales order, and VA03 is to display the sales order, only display. VA01, 02, 03. ME21N, 22N, 23N is for purchase order. Okay, clear? For example, I have a sales order number. Item 10. Quantity some 100. So what is my requirement? When I click on the sales order number, it should navigate me to VA03 or VA02 transaction code. VA03 transaction codes should automatically navigate to this transaction code. Okay, clear?
Clear.
This is another requirement. This is also interactive report. When user clicked on, so when user displayed, for example, there is a requirement for the user that they want to see all sales orders created today, and they got the report. We created a report using some year date in the selection screen, and we are displaying the data like this in the report output. So they wanted to go to the sales order transaction and do some changes. If they find that a particular sales order quantity is incorrect, it is not 100 but it is 90, quantity is incorrect, what they need to do? Again, they have to open separately VA03 and change it VA02, change the sales order quantity and save. But if you provide an option, just when they click on this, it should automatically navigate to VA02 and they can change it, save it. Convenient, right? For that kind of requirements, you can handle it in interactive report. Now let's see how to write interactive reports. We are already having a report, right? Basic report, right? We're already having a report. Let's add interactive report to this, like one more level display to the existing report. Okay, one more level report to the existing report. I'm using our previous program as it is. Okay, which option will try first? Is it navigating to the standard VA02 transaction or interactive report, like displaying next level data? Which one we try first?
VA0.
Okay.
VA0.
Okay. Then we'll navigate into the standard transaction. We'll see that first. Okay. For this, we have different options. For interactive reports, we have different techniques and different options to make a report as interactive report. But I'm going to tell you only one. Okay. Which is best. Not the best, but which is easy and convenient. Okay. If you have time, we'll discuss the other. First, we need a important importing parameter for interactive reports here, because I have deleted commented ones. Go to, so this one, right? I underscore callback user command. This is required for interactive reports. Okay. This is required for interactive reports. That should be available in header. That's why we'll just recall it without adding anything. We'll just recall the function module again. Pattern, call the ALV report, enable the exporting. Keep the callback program. CPROG. Delete this.
Field catalog also deleted.
You can delete all optional. Okay. If it is mandatory parameter, you cannot delete it. Okay. If you go to the function module and check whether it is a optional parameter or mandatory parameter. If it is optional parameter, you may or may not use it. But if it is a mandatory parameter, you should use it. Right? For tables, t underscore out tab is not optional. Optional checkbox is initial. That's why you should pass some data. Okay. For field catalog, pass our field catalog. So anyway, we have already added hotspot to the sales order number, gt underscore sales. First, we'll check whether a basic functionality is working or not. So we got the header report. Now what is my requirement? When I click on any particular sales order number, it should take me to the VA02 or 03 transaction code. Okay. Okay. Now we have to define a subroutine, empty subroutine. What is the syntax to define a subroutine?
Local to the program.
Sai, listen, Sai. I'm asking you the syntax.
Form.
Form.
Rasi.
What is the syntax for subroutine? Okay, forgot. Good.
Form.
Very good. Usually, right, if you use any CC camera, online CC cameras, which are with low cost, they'll provide around some 1 GB memory to capture the video. If you run it for days, what will happen, right? After completing 1 GB, it will start deleting the old and placing the new videos. So all the old videos will be gone after some time. It is also looks like that. I'm telling you the new concepts and you are deleting the previous concepts.
మనం చెప్పినప్పుడు సబ్రొటీన్స్ చెప్పలేదన్నా ఇట్లా.
Okay. At least we should remember the syntax. What is the syntax for subroutine? Perform and form and end form. I think you have gone through, right, Sai?
అన్నా
The subroutines.
ఫాము పక్కన నేమ్ అని చెప్తా ఉన్నాను.
Mm. Not only form, right? We have perform. That is important. Perform is important. Perform, form and end form. Maybe for the rest of the guys, I did not introduce subroutines. So this is the syntax. So we don't need perform here. We are not calling it. Let's see how we do it. Form. So let's come back to our interactive reports. Name, user underscore, for example, CMD, using LV underscore ucom, type sy hyphen. What is this sy hyphen ucom contents? So whenever you click on a particular button, for example, if you execute this button, there should be a code for it, button code. What is the action for this button? So that action will be captured in this system variable sy ucom, right? So this will be used in many places. sy underscore ucom will be used many places. It captures the action. When you click on a specific button, what is the action for that button? That will be captured here. Okay. And there is one more structure. ls underscore selection structure type this is the name of that structure. I don't remember exactly. Let me check. Sliss underscore. So this should contain sliss underscore. All the structures which are available in sliss should start with the sliss underscore structure name. Okay. So in this subroutine form and end form, we have to define two variables. One is for user command, lv underscore ucom. This captures the user action, what user did in the ALV output, on which button he clicked on which record he clicked on. That will be handled using this sy ucom. Okay. And this one, the structure contains the record, on which record user clicked on. That will be stored here in this structure. The type of that structure is sliss SCL field. Clear? Now just write like this. Case LV underscore U. What is case statement? What is case statement? Did we discuss case statement or not?
We discussed it.
What is case statement and how it is different from if statement?
When that is, can check all the
Multiple conditions.
Okay, case statement is a conditional statement. Okay, we can also use if, right? How case statements and if statements are different? When we use case statement and when we use if statement?
statement for a single condition, case statement for multiple.
Can't we write multiple conditions for if statement using else if?
Yes,
But what is the use of case statement? We can achieve many options in if statement. We can use else if. We can implement many conditions in case if statement. But when exactly we go for case statement and when exactly we go for if statement?
when all conditions are true, then we can go for case.
Case statement is used
What is
to
it?
multiple possible conditions, sir.
Okay.
All true conditions.
Okay. No. All true. There is no all true condition. You should not implement all true conditions. Never implement all true conditions. Don't use like A equal to A. If A equal to A, what should happen? When B equal to B. You should not implement this type of conditions because both are true, right? A equal to A and B equal to B. Both are true, right?
Yes,
You should not use conditions like that. Conditions should be unique.
Open check.
I've clearly explained when we use case statement, when we use if statement. So tell me weeks, days in a week. Tell me days in a week.
ఉందా నొప్పి పిల్ల నొప్పి అక్కడ ఉందా
యూనివర్సల్ ట్రూత్ లో మనం ఉపయోగిస్తాం.
That's what. For universal truths, we use case statements. Mostly, we can also use for different options, but mostly we use for universal truths. How many months we have?
12.
12 months, right? Is it going to change in future?
no.
Next year or how many weeks we have? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
7.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
days, 7 days.
Not going to change, right? Never going to change, right? Gender? Gender?
Never change.
Not going to change.
Male, female, others. 3 for now. Okay? That is also, that changes very rarely. Recently, they have added others. That is also universal truth. For this kind of data, we use case statement. For example, tell me the petrol price
101.
1 week ago.
111.
1 week ago.
97. 101.
Okay, after 2 weeks.
100 below.
You can't
Huh?
say.
After 2 weeks, 150. Sir.
Increase.
Maybe.
Maybe increase.
We don't know. We don't know. Actually, we don't know. And it's uncertain, right? That might increase or that might decrease. That's not standard, right? Value is not fixed, right? So in that case, how will take it? If
Or else.
LV underscore price is greater than 100 and LV underscore price is less than 1000. If it is between 100 to 1000, what we have to do? Like that, we use if statements. If statement is for these kind of values, right? Quantity, amount, total sales. We use all kind of that kind of requirements using if statements. Employee salary. But if you want to check Employee gender. Do we use if statement or case statement?
Case statement.
Case statement. If we need to write some logic on employee salary, which statement use? If statement or case statement?
If
If
statement.
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 Yes. So here we are handling the button actions. We can also use if statement or case statement. Both will work. Here we are handling button actions. So when user clicked on a particular button, what is that code? Okay. For that, just use case statement, because there is no greater than, less than validations here. Button action is same all the time. That's not going to be changed, right? Because you cannot measure by weeks, right? If Sunday is greater than Monday, if Monday is greater than Sunday, we cannot measure it like that, right? If female is greater than male or male is greater than female, we cannot validate like that, right? For these values.
Yeah.
So in that conditions, we go for case statement. It is always equal to. Case is always equal to. Okay. Case LV underscore UCOM. When
ఇప్పుడు
when అంటే ఎప్పుడు. Case when others. It is just like else, when others. Okay. So let's just set a deep breakpoint here and we'll see how it is going to work. Before that, pass this subroutine. This subroutine, right? Pass that subroutine here. Pass that subroutine here in uppercase. USR subroutine name. User command. USR CMD. Pass that to, no, sorry, not for PF status. So why did I keep PF status and removed? We need user action there. This one, I underscore callback user command. We should keep that. For that, pass this user command. Right, we don't need, remove this. Okay. For I underscore callback user command, pass this subroutine name, user command subroutine name. That's it. Okay. Activate it. It's not completed yet. Let's keep a breakpoint here in this subroutine and execute this. Execute. Now click on this. Click on the sales order number hotspot. Now check what is UCOM. So UCOM is and IC1. That is the code. When user clicked on any sales order number hotspot, this is the code we have to handle. When the code is IC1, what we have to do? We have to write that logic here, right? And observe this structure, selection structure, what you can find here. Double click on it. What is the tab index? 3. Why? Why it is 3? Why it is 3? Because we clicked on third record. Because we clicked on third record. That's why tab index is 3. So what is the value? tab field VBLN value. What is the value? 44 is the VBLN number that we clicked on. What is the field we clicked on?
VBLN.
VBLN. What is the index? Index third record. We clicked on third record,
Third.
right? This is the value, VBLN value. Now, how can you read internal table data which is at a specified position? Let's say there is an internal table and there is a record in the specified position, that is for example in third position. How can you move that to work area, that specified record which is at third position?
Using index.
Yeah, using index we can move that internal table record to work area. So in this LV UCOM we are getting the action, button action. In this selection field, selection structure, what we are getting? What is the record that user clicked on? What is the position of that record? Third position. What is the field? VBLN. What is the value? This is the value that user clicked on, right? Now observe, I clicked on this record, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Is this clear till now? Is this clear till now? Please respond. If you don't understand, please tell me. So can I proceed further or need to explain again? Please respond.
I didn't understand this.
Explain.
Okay, I understand, but the terminology is some little
Yeah,
bit.
little different. You have to practice again. Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'll explain again. Okay. That's what I'm expecting. If you don't understand, just let me know. I'll explain again.
Okay.
So what is our requirement? What is our requirement here? First tell me what is your requirement?
A particular number.
So we are building an interactive report.
Interactive.
We are building an interactive report, right? So when I clicked on a particular record, it should take me to the some transaction code, VA02 or VA03 transaction code. For that, I am building a logic. For that, what I am doing? I have created a subroutine. I have created a subroutine using form and end form. What are the parameters of that subroutine? Just assume it as a function module. Just assume it as a function module. And these two are the importing parameters. Using importing parameters. Okay. Just assume we are creating a function module and using means these two are importing parameters. This is one importing parameter and this is another importing parameter. What is UCOM? LV underscore UCOM, we have defined one importing parameter, LV underscore UCOM, type SY UCOM. What is SY UCOM? SY UCOM is a system variable which holds the button actions. When user clicked on some button, it will capture that action. Every button will some code. Okay. Every button will have some code. Based on some code, we write the logic. When user clicked on that button, when the code is so and so, what should we perform? For example, here is the execution button, right? When you click on this, behind the scenes, there is a code to capture that button action. Okay, F8. Then what we have to do when user clicked on F8? They write the logic. They display the selection screen, right? that value will be captured into sy-ucom. What is this structure? Selection structure. We have to define second importing parameter, that is selection structure. Type SLIS selection field. SLIS selection field. This okay. That is the second importing parameter you have to define.
Sure.
So this ucom contains user action, what user did in the screen, and this contain record on which user clicked on, the specific record which user clicked on. The structure contains that details. Okay, clear?
Clear.
These two are importing parameters. So one importing parameter is to capture the user action. What user did? Did he click on any back button, or did he click on record, or did he click on any particular value? We are going to capture that here based on the action. For example, if you click on that record, what is the action code? IC1. IC1 is the action code for that record selection. And in the structure, what we are getting? That particular record details.
Record.
What is the index of that record? What is the position of that record? Is it the third record, or fourth record, or fifth record? We're going to get that number. And what is the field that user clicked on? We have added hotspot, right? What is that particular field user clicked on? Is it a VBLN, or a POSNR, or material, or customer? We're going to get the details. Field name and the value. What is the value of that field user clicked on, right? And we are going to write further code inside this subroutine. So when user clicked on a specific record, write the code here. What is our requirement? What is our requirement?
Transaction code.
We have to call the
Include.
transaction code, right? VA02 or 03
Yes.
when user clicked on that record. So after building subroutine, what is mandatory? You have to provide this subroutine name, whatever the subroutine name you are using. Pass this here for I_callback user command importing parameter of this ALV grid
Okay.
display. Okay, in capital letters. That is mandatory. Then how to call a transaction code from program? First, let's see how we do it manually. \o VA02. This is the transaction code, right? Sales order transaction code. What we need to do here? We need to enter
Then
sales order number. We cannot go forward without entering anything. We have to enter mandatory number, that is sales order number, right? Double click, enter. Now we can see the sales order screen. This is sales order screen. If you want to change anything, you can change the order quantity, or you can change the order price, everything. This is the order amount. What is this? NETWR, right? It is UOM. Sorry, it is not unit, currency unit. It is in euros. EUR means euros. What is the item quantity? 1 kg. Mains. It is mains. Right? The users can quickly change everything and click on save. Then they can go back to. Now this we have to achieve using our report. But we should not get an option to enter the sales order number, right? It should automatically populate the sales order number and directly show the screen. And directly need to show the screen. Okay. Now we'll see this in our program. How you can call the program? Using call transaction. Call transaction statement is used to call the transaction codes. VA02.
BDC.
Capital letter only. Okay. Should be in capital letters. VA02. That's it. Let's see how it is going to work. Okay. Are we providing any sales order number? For which sales order number it should open the transaction?
No, sir.
No.
No.
First let's see how this will work. Execute. When I click on this, it's opened transaction
34.
code. But again, I have to click enter, right? I have to enter the sales order number and click enter. I clicked on 45, but it's not opening sales order number 45, right? Directly.
Yeah.
If I click on 51, it should directly open sales order number 51. That is, it should directly open this screen. This screen, I am expecting this screen. Okay, I'm expecting this screen. When I clicked on a specific sales order number in the output, I should be able to see this screen. How to handle that? First, we have to set the value, sales order value for the transaction code. Whatever the value, whatever the sales order number we clicked on, that value should be set to the transaction code. How we can set that? Go to VA03. Go to VA03. VA03 or GO02. It is very important. Please observe. Click on this order number field. Click on F1. Go to technical information. Go to technical information. I think this is ECC system. Let me show you in our S4 HANA system. VA02. So when you click on that hammer symbol and so when you click on F1, you have to use function F1, not only F1, but you have to use function key F1 and click on this technical information. You can see the field name details of this screen field. What is the field name?
VBL.
VBL. And what is the data element?
VBL and VA.
What is the parameter ID?
Anu.
Yeah.
AUN is the parameter ID. Copy this parameter ID and observe the statement what we are writing here. Use set parameter ID in single quotes, parameter ID name, and provide the value. From where we are getting the value? From where we are getting the value? In selections field structure hyphen value. Okay. Sorry, we have to use one more. What is it? Field, I think. Field. Set parameter ID name, field value. This is in the structure, selection structure, right? Then here, come here. Call transaction code VA02. Skip first screen and skip first screen. Okay. Now activate the program. So we are setting the default value to the